One thing that I think a lot of Star Wars fans will totally agree with is the fact that The Last Jedi by director and writer Rian Johnson truly derailed the sequel trilogy and the entire Star Wars franchise, and that now Disney and Lucasfilm are in a position in which they really have to push to their limits to really get the ball rolling again when it comes to Star Wars. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars that a lot of fans are very excited about is the fact that Kathleen Kennedy no longer has creative control over the new Star Wars universe, at least for the most part, right? She's only in control of the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series, as well as the animated TV series that will also involve Kathleen Kennedy and her personal agenda, and her, of course, identity politics that will be thrown into there. Now, everything related to Dave Filoni, let's focus on this creator, because Dave Filoni is the true protege to George Lucas, and what Dave Filoni really wants to do with Star Wars is that he really wants to bring Star Wars back to the way it used to be. He really wants to make authentic Star Wars stories, and Dave Filoni even talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that he is currently working on multiple different timelines, different eras within the Star Wars franchise that fans have either seen before or have not seen before in Star Wars history. And that to me sounds like it's going to be the most exciting scenario. The fact that we got Dave Filoni, the man who created the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, to really be in charge of these new timelines that's really going to be a part of the new Disney canon in the next couple of years. Now, what's really exciting all has to do with one of the new timelines that a lot of fans are already familiar with, and of course, Dave Filoni as a creator. Now, with Disney and Lucasfilm working with everything in their power to fix the Star Wars franchise after the sequel trilogy, the Star Wars fandom has been very curious about the future of Star Wars, while also staying very skeptical of how the new creators will handle everything with the Star Wars brand for the next couple of years. Now, it's noted that Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George Lucas are all working together as a team in order to make things right with the Star Wars fandom. Now, it's described that creator Dave Filoni will be handling a brand new timeline for the Star Wars franchise that will be taken directly from Star Wars Legends. Now, it's noted that Filoni will be bringing in Star Wars The Old Republic in many formats, and will be bringing the characters to life in the form of live action and animation for Disney+. So that's the exciting part, is that Filoni is going to be handling the Old Republic era, that timeline, in both live action and animated material for Disney+. And that just tells us of how expansive Star Wars is really going to become. Now, this timeline will focus on the struggles and wars between the Jedi and the Sith, and that Filoni is all set to take very good care of the timeline that George Lucas created back many years ago, before Disney took over Lucasfilm. So in case you guys did not know, George Lucas really approved and created many of the ideas of the Old Republic timeline before Disney took over Lucasfilm. Now, Disney already has their own version of the Old Republic in the current Disney canon. It's very basic, there's really no backstory to it all. It's within the Secrets of the Jedi book through the point of view of Luke Skywalker, where he himself talks about the Old Republic in that book. But that's all there pretty much is to the canon version of the Old Republic era, and that Dave Filoni will be essentially adding more to that. Now, Filoni is said to bring back many of the popular characters from the Old Republic era, and will explore this timeline in multiple TV shows in the not-so-distant future on Disney+, that will be quite revolutionary for the Star Wars brand to explore this new timeline of the Star Wars galaxy. So let me just say one thing right now, is that Dave Filoni is the true protege of George Lucas. He knows what he's doing. He's a very passionate guy. He loves Star Wars Legends. He loves all the characters that George created. That's exactly what he wants to do with this new expanded universe, is that he really wants to bring back many of the favorite moments by the hardcore Star Wars fans, and wants to bring it into live action and animated material. Now, as far as the animated material goes, we do know that Dave Filoni is very well experienced with that, of course, the Clone Wars and Rebels. And he's also going to be involved with other animated projects out there that don't have to do with the Old Republic. Now, there's going to be live-action Old Republic material as well that Dave Filoni will, in fact, be a part of, and this once again supports that Dave Filoni could very well become the new George Lucas as well as Jon Favreau. These two guys are really working with everything in their power to really make Star Wars acceptable to the entire Star Wars fandom. As of right now, you know, there's a lot of fans that are still divided over what happened with the sequel trilogy and what really happened with The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, and I totally understand that. You know, everybody understands that The Last Jedi was a film that really was irresponsible by Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy for letting it even happen. So, with that being said, you know, I think that this really is a recipe for, you know, creating a light at the end of the tunnel here, and just showing fans that there really is a way to success with Dave Filoni and John. So with that being said, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.